several months ago, Froggy called me and said, I've got to talk to you about this organization. This organization that I got a chance to hang out with and learn more about. And I'm like, okay, tell me more. And you said, it's the J Fund. I'm
yes.
Like, okay. Tell me what it's all about. So you actually left us early, Froggy, we were in Puerto Rico to go to an event with the J Fund, right?
I did. I had to get back home so I could be a part of this. So Tom Coughlin, who was the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars for many years and the New York Giants, won 2 Super Bowls. He and his daughter, Kelly Coughlin, have started an amazing charity. And what they do is they make it so that when a family has a child that is diagnosed with pediatric cancer, they make it so that the family can focus on being there for the child and helping the child tackle cancer while they help keep the lights on, keep a roof over the family's head, put food on the table, and give them experiences to help them live a life while they're still trying to beat the cancer.
Let me tell you, not having kids. I mean, I have a schnauzer. It's as close as I'm ever going to get. But not having kids, I still understand the fact that if you have a kid that is going through cancer and everything that's involved with it, and you have a family to deal with as well at the same time, thinking about keeping lights on and thinking about keeping a house going is like, maybe it'll just feed itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It just doesn't. And this, of course, is September, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So in the studio from J Fund, we have Mary Jane. Hi, Mary Jane. What's your last name again?
Polzello.
Okay. Good Italian girl. Hey, no. We also have Radley. What's your last name, Radley? Macalento. And, of course, your son, Austin's here. Hi, Austin. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
He's so cute.
By the way, Austin, welcome to our show. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's good to have you here. Now, I will tell you, I've got to be just totally transparent with you. As Froggy was, every morning when I walk to work, Froggy and I have a conversation on the phone early in the morning before the sun comes up. And he started, I could hear him smiling ear to ear, talking about the event that he participated in for the J Fund. I mean, why were you moved so much that night, Frog?
Well, I met a lot of the kids that were there and kids who had been a part of the J Fund and their families had been helped. And I met these kids and they're just, you realize that they have beat pediatric cancer. They're still trying to beat pediatric cancer, but yet so positive and such an uplifting experience. And then I went and did a hospital visit and met other kids that were still in the hospital and going through treatment. And to see these families and to see their faces light up when the people from the J Fund walk in and know that they're making a difference in their life just made all the difference in the world to me.
Wow. So Radley, you find out that Austin has cancer. And so it must have just hit you like a ton of bricks. I mean, there's no way we could truly feel what you felt.
Yeah, no, it was totally devastating. In fact, when we first heard the diagnosis, I couldn't see my son. I had to pull myself together because you have to be strong for your kids. And like I had to let everything out there because for the next 6 to 12 months, I have to be there for him. I have to be his shoulder to cry on. I have to be his rock. And I do not wish this experience on any parent, but now I'm part of this brotherhood and I want to make sure other parents could leverage my experiences and know that there's other people out there willing to help.
So not only did you have a house to keep going, you had 4 other kids, right?
Yes.
And of course, Austin being the one that needed total 100% attention at this time. So how did you connect with Mary Jane and the J Fund? How did you find each other? Mary Jane, how are you found? I mean, I can see you. I know you're here.
The Tom Coughlin J Fund has a lot of partnerships with local hospitals in New York and New Jersey. And Austin was being treated at Tomorrow's Children's Fund at Hackensack Hospital. And we help families financially, emotionally, practically. As Froggy said, I actually want to hire Froggy to be a representative of the J Fund.
Well, he's yours.
He says it like no other. And so we were, I think Father's Day, was that the first time that we met in person? We had a Father's Day dinner, and we invite all the dads because sometimes the dads are overlooked. So we invited 12 dads to dinner, and Radley was one of them. And that's when I first got to meet him. But we had helped the family with a mortgage payment, food cards, grocery food cards, gift cards, different things like that. And we visit the hospital, too. We visit the kids, like Froggy said, in the hospital at Hackensack Hospital. So that's really where the friendship, partnership, and Coach Coughlin likes to say, nobody can fight this alone. It takes a team. And the J Fund is part of the team so that Radley and Grace could focus on Austin and also focus on their 4 other children. So
I don't know. I would assume being a parent, you think, well, I'm the parent. I must take full responsibility. And I will. I'm going to do this on my own. But when we talk about this on our show all the time, facing these things alone is just not the way to do it. It's okay to ask or to say, hey, what do you think? And of course, knowing one day you'll pay it back in some way to them or someone else. So let me tell you, by the way, sitting across, I'm sitting directly across from Austin. He's looking at us like we have 17 heads.
He's so cute. He is. He's so cute.
Yeah. So Austin, you live here in the New York City area, right? You live in New Jersey? Where do you live?
I live in Moonachie, New Jersey.
In Moonachie, New Jersey. Moonachie, how you doing? So where you're talking into this microphone, all the people who live in the houses around you in Moonachie, they can hear you right now. So don't say anything embarrassing. Anyway,
Hackensack's an amazing hospital. I had both my children in Hackensack.
You did?
Yeah.
I did too.
You did? Yeah.
But the difference is they asked Danielle to never come back.
That is true. They do that.
She screamed louder than any mother in labor. Now, I just think it's so important to know that the J Fund is it's an important resource for more than just a parent and a child of that parent who's going through chemo or going through whatever. It's also, as you said, a resource for the entire family because it's something the entire family goes through. And you have a family of 5, 6, 7 people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So wasn't it great to have that to back you up during all this?
No, it was awesome because we were so busy. Grace and I were always tag teaming, making sure Austin wasn't alone in the hospital that, to your point, we do sometimes forget some of our other kids that are on autopilot because of Austin. And they totally understand. And I'm so proud of all of his siblings. But the J Fund gave us an opportunity every so often to take a time out from cancer treatment and get together as a family and do some of the activities that they offer to their families.
Wow. So important.
And we think it is important, Elvis. I have to just give a shout out to the New York Giants because although Coach is not the coach of the New York Giants anymore, Pat Shermer is, who we're honoring at our fundraiser, and we're happy to have that relationship still going. They have been incredible to us and to our families. And every year we have a party at MetLife Stadium for just the J Fund families, patients, families, siblings, parents. Some grandma and grandpas came as well. And it's a day, 4 hours at MetLife Stadium where everybody can just, like Radley said, be together, forget about cancer. Coach says leave cancer in the parking lot and come into the stadium and just have fun. And there's no strings attached. Radley and I were talking before the show. He said, but what's the gimmick? What's the string? What do I have to give up in return for this help? There is nothing. We're just there. Our slogan is be there. And we want to be there for families so they can be there for their children. And that's really what it's all about.
Hey, Austin, do you love your family? Do you like your mom and dad? Are they cool?
Yes.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. What else do you like to do?
I like to play on my phone and play with Legos.
You like do Legos?
Lego.
So it's really cool to know that, you know how serious cancer is, right? Obviously. But you see, I never want to think of you, Austin, as being a kid that's dealing with cancer. I want to think of you as a kid that loves his family and a kid that loves to play with Legos and plays games on his phone, And so cancer is just something you're dealing with and you're getting through with the help of your family and the people that love you. But the other stuff's the important stuff, right? Of course.
Austin is a big swimmer, Elvis.
And you love to swim. Teach me how to swim. I sink every time. I don't know. You would think a guy with big boobs like this could float.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's 11.
He knows what boobs are. It's okay.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm with you, Austin. You're good. But you're good. And so that's why J Fund is so important. Keep that in mind. And if not your family, you know a family who is experiencing and going through this journey, you can actually go to tcjfund.com. That's tcjayfund.org. I screwed it up 3 times. tcjfund.org. And we would like, on behalf of the Elvis Duran Morning Show, we'd like to make a contribution of $10,000 right now.
Oh, my gosh,
and
Elvis.
I know it's just a drop in the bucket. Is it a bucket? But anyway, hey, how could we not with
Austin
with Austin in here?
I want to just hug him. He's so cute.
Go hug him.
Come here, Austin.
She's a hugger. But look, again, it's tcjfund.org. And I think it's worthy of not just contributing, but also just learning about what they're up to, because someone in your life may need to get in touch with them and tap into their resources. You know, it's so important. Radley, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
And Mary Jane, it's just a pleasure. Just
Thank
a pleasure.
you, Elvis.
But most of all, you, Austin, you're an inspiration, and we thank you for coming in. Don't leave the Legos on the floor, because when
that hurts.
When Dad steps on them, he gets very mad.
So true.
It's like stepping on little knives. Anyway, again, please, we'll put it up at Elvis Duran Show on our Twitter and Instagram. It's TCJ Fund.